7:11 on Monday evening, the 26th of February, and this is your Glendora Unified School District Board. I'd like to open the meeting and reconvene from closed session where there is no reportable action. We spent an hour in there and there's nothing to report. So there you go. We're going to move right on then into the roll call. Tracy, would you handle the roll call tonight, please?
Members present, do I have Board Member Reuter?
Present.
Board Clerk Lopez?
Here.
Board Member Merkley?
I'm here.
Vice President Garcia?
Here.
And Board President Clifford.
Present.
Thank
you. All are present and accounted for. It's going to be a good night. Next, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Aiden, if you could lead that, we'd greatly appreciate it. Hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Aiden, thank you. Well done. I've already reported out that there was no action taken in closed session. May I have a motion to adopt our current agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, welcomes and introductions. We have none of those tonight. We will be welcoming our principals and our Director of Nutrition Services as they come up to do a presentation. So we're going to move to public comment. And the best part of the night is, guess what? I'm going to open up public comment. We have no comment cards. Much appreciated tonight. So we're going to close public comment. Open and close. Thank you very much. And with the board's direction, we will move on to oral reports. The first one is 4.1, which would be a student board report from Aiden Garcia.
Thank you very much. I'm going to start off with Colon Elementary. February was a busy month that started with Colon's open house. Our second graders were able to participate in a Discovery Cube on-site field trip, and they had a great time learning about erosion. Our student council sold Valentine's grams, and those were delivered on Valentine's Day. The entire school participated in Ropes for Hope on Valentine's, and together we raised over $6,000. We are now wrapping up our second trimester, and teachers are preparing for a conference in a few weeks. We are all looking forward to the third trimester and the numerous fun activities that come with the end of the year. Stanton Elementary. Stanton students and teachers have completed the second trimester. We are preparing for parent-teacher conferences. February seemed to fly by with many activities. Our Student Leadership Valentine Grant fundraiser helped us reach our Stanton GHS Scholarship fundraising goal. PTA hosted a Spirit Wear store, and it's exciting to see many families support our new Spirit gear. The Imagination Machine Assembly, sponsored by our PTA, took place on Friday, February 23rd, much to the delight of all our students who submitted their personal, creative stories. During the third trimester, we look forward to our Spring Book Fair, Read Across America Week, Open House, LPAC, and CASP assessment. Sutherland Elementary. Sutherland is wrapping up the second trimester this week. Teachers are preparing to meet with parents during Parent-Teacher Conference Week, March 4th through 8th, to support students who are working towards meeting grade level standards. And our TK teachers will be holding conferences for all TK parents for the second trimester. Teachers are all planning and preparing our students for upcoming state testing. In between state testing, our English learners will also be taking the LPAC test. We are gearing up for the Literacy Week coming up at the end of the month. Check out our Instagram for the week's activities. For our final trimester of school, students will be invited to participate in an attendance challenge. All students who reach the goal will receive a celebration party at the end of the school year. Sandburg Middle School, 4.0 celebration. Spartans who achieved a 4.0 for the first semester enjoyed ice cream and a special treat on Thursday, 2:15 after school. It was amazing to see nearly 150 students celebrating this admirable achievement. On 2/22, Sandburg staff will be delivering 4.0 yard signs to students in and around our school community. Be on the lookout for these fun pics on social media. Testing season is coming soon. Teachers are beginning a little test preparation in math classes as we approach spring testing. Our talented math teachers are integrating performance tasks into lessons so that students are exposed to state testing, academic vocabulary, and the challenges presented in the CAS performance tasks. Nihongo Japanese lessons. Students are enjoying the Japanese language and culture classes presented virtually by Steve Bishop on Mondays through May. Most of our students traveling to Japan this summer are participating, as well as other students interested in picking up a little conversational Japanese and in learning more about Japanese cultural traditions. Rotary Choral Festival. Our choral students are excited to showcase their musical talents at the Rotary Choral Festival on March 1st in the Huang Auditorium at Citrus College. We are thankful for Mr. Davis's hard work in preparing our students for the traditional performance in conjunction with our elementary and high school choirs. Glendora High School. Glendora High School is in full motion as we head into the packed spring season. The beginning of February held our returning Sadie's Dance, where Tartan showed up dressed in matching outfits and got to enjoy food trucks, dancing, and photo booths. We sold over 500 tickets, which is a great success, as Sadie's is one of the smaller dances of the year. To kick off Kindness Week, a kindness crew of Tartans greeted elementary students at our 5 locations and walked them to class during the pouring rain. We also held our annual spring assembly where we announced our action theme this year, Warriors. Our seniors are Vikings, juniors are gladiators, sophomores are knights, and freshmen are toy soldiers. Students will begin signing up for events this week and pick up shirts the week of action. For the first time ever, GHS rented out Chino Hills Skate Express for our Valentine's Day skate night, DJed by our very own Pete Marquez. Tartan spent the night roller skating, eating, and hanging out. We filled the space with Tartans and staff. It was a huge success. On Wednesday, February 21st, both our show choirs previewed their competition sets for the community with family, friends, and staff present. They even held a raffle for students who attended with fun prizes. We wish the Royal Stewards and Silhouettes lots of luck as they head into the competition season. Speaking of students with such great talent, Glendora High School would like to congratulate Samantha Sash, a GHS wrestler who over the last 3 weeks has won CIF, is Masters champion, and competed in the state championships. She made all of us proud, getting all the way to the championship final match. Last week, the Black Student Alliance Club hosted a lunchtime event on Monday, February 19th, in honor of Black History Month. This lunchtime event included a tasting, history, and recipe for banana pudding and a performance by the APU Gospel Choir. The hard work and planning of the BSA Club and their advisor led to a well-attended event in the gym that day. Our Putter Buff event took place this past Friday, where the junior and senior boys faced off in an intense game of volleyball. Although the juniors tried their best, they were defeated by the seniors 3-0. This was a free event and was attended by the community and campus. The Culture Plaid student group will meet on Tuesday, February 27th to discuss ways to grow empathy at GHS. The Black Student Alliance Club and the Latinos Unidos Club will lead the first topic under discussion. Finally, our Super Smash Bros. Tournament will be held on February 29th. This event is a chance to focus on our student gamers to be able to show off their skills to friends and family and compete for a chance at winning prize. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aiden. Any questions or comments about that awesome presentation from Aiden? Okay, you got lucky tonight, Aiden. We're gonna move right on. Now we're gonna do the comments from the members of the Board of Trustees of Education. I'm going to start to my right and move to the left.
Okay,
Trustee, go right ahead.
thank you. Don't really have a lot, but I did get to go to the choir showcase last week, and it was amazing. I was really impressed. Okay, the flashing lights gave me a headache, but other than that, it was amazing. Lots of talent there. As many of you know, many of you don't, my baby girl is having twins, and so I've spent time in Utah, so I missed last month's meeting. I'm leaving tomorrow to go back, but I'll be back for the next meeting. So there will be many events that I will not be attending because I am on mama duty. The babies aren't coming for over a month, we hope. But anyway, it's good to be here tonight.
Just wanted to say good evening. I was going to say good night, but not yet. Good evening. I don't have much to say. I'm very looking forward to tonight's presentation, so I want to save my time to really savor those presentations. So thank you all for being here and dealing with that unexpected rain, because that was pretty crazy. I did not expect it. So thanks for being here.
I don't have a lot either, just one. I was able to attend the state wrestling meet. So it was nice to watch and get to see Samantha compete in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. However, I did not see the final match. But the 2 matches I watched, she won, and she did very well. She represented Glendora well, so it was fun. I mean, it was a huge wrestling tournament, and she did very well.
Where was that hold ball?
It was in Bakersfield at the Mechanics Bank Arena.
My only comment tonight was also going to be about Samantha, so I would just say that I would really like to invite her back to give her the recognition that she very much deserves. And I look forward to the presentations tonight, and I'm really happy to see all of the additional support people here with their sites. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you. It'll be short for me too. I also wanted to reach out to the Glendora High School Royal Stewards and Silhouettes, I think is the exact. What a performance. You know, I always kind of rib my wife. She watches American Idol and all those shows, and there's a lot of screaming and yelling going on the entire time those shows are on, every time somebody performs. I actually thought I was at an episode of American Idol with all the fans in the background, just absolutely obsessed with the program, the individuals. There were some fan favorites up there. It was just a really pleasant night. Miss Merkley and I attended, and it was just a wonderful night of the parents and students interacting. It was a much nicer show than I expected, so that was really nice. And it was a busy week for emails and meetings for all of us, and so hopefully we had an opportunity to get back to you. If we didn't, send us another note, but lots of things going on in the information for parents and students. In closing, I would just like to say, please pay attention. Erin Mesa is coming up first in her presentation tonight, I believe. I want everyone out there that's watching and in the audience to pay attention to the fact that we have a new nutrition services director person. In closed session tonight, I will report something that happened. We actually were treated with some ceviche that she made, that she's serving to our students. It was absolutely, in my opinion, world-class ceviche. It was phenomenal. I've gotten a lot of rave reviews about the different menu items and kind of, I guess, tests or little things that you're doing with the students and the student advisory committees. So please pay attention to that. That's the end of my comments. But I think the next presentation is going to be new and exciting for everyone. So that will transition us to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, distinguished guests. No pressure at all. Today actually marks the beginning of the third trimester, if you can believe that. So the final third of the school year has begun. Elementary parent-teacher conferences, as many in this room know right now, are next week. And so we're looking to maintain the sustained focus and that consistent attendance that we've had all year long as we make the surge to spring break, certainly. We appreciate our ongoing collaboration with the city of Glendora. Last week, we had our 2x2 meeting. That is 2 city council, 2 board members, and I guess it's another 2. Myself and the city manager of the city meet to discuss ongoing collaboration, police department articulation, and ongoing communication, and our work with our recent joint use MOU and agreement that we've made. I held my student advisory council in this very room last week, and it was hard to get their attention at the beginning because they were sampling the new bistro boxes that Miss Erin Mesa brought in, and I couldn't get them to stop. So instead of starting with a regular program, we started with her, and she had a great rapport with the kids and got their information and feedback on a number of items. So we appreciate her. The students were reflective and thoughtful all the way through. You will see the rollout this week, and you'll learn about more next board meeting about a software called Let's Talk. It's a communication platform. It's coming soon. We'll review its features, but it's another avenue or resource for our parents to communicate with us. Rotary Choral Festival, you heard, is Friday. Thank you for that, 7 p.m. Congratulations again to Samantha Sachs. We certainly will bring her back. That is an amazing feat. That is the first ever state finalist in wrestling that we've ever had in the history of the school district. So it's an impressive feat. Yeah. What's also impressive.
Not to mention that she's a girl. It's our first.
Yeah, she is something. Yeah, she is really something. Outstanding person and wrestler. Speech and debate also earned first place over the weekend at the prestigious Claremont McKenna College Speech and Debate Inland Empire Debate Tournament. They took first place tournament and first place overall. You'll see some social media posts about those fine students. Great job. We had many high placers, but the overall first place tournament and first place overall, kudos to all of them. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. DeGrazia, for that fascinating report. We are going to move to our first staff presentation, 5.1, Nutrition Services, presented by Ms. Erin Mesa. This is her first presentation to the board, so no pressure.
Thank you, and I'm gonna introduce Carmen Duran. She's gonna come up here with me. So, hello, my name is Erin Meza. I'm very proud to say that I'm the Nutrition Services Director here at Glendora Unified. I've been here for a little over 2 months now. Overall, though, I have about 14 years of experience in child nutrition, and I also come from a culinary arts background, working at many restaurants. This is Carmen Duran. She's with me tonight. She's our central kitchen manager. She's been serving our students here at Glendora Unified for over 25 years. So we want to talk a little bit about our nutrition services here at Glendora Unified. We're going to start talking about elementary schools. So something in elementary schools is we always cut our fruit, because for elementary kids it's a little bit more difficult as they're getting older and they're losing teeth. My son included, he just lost 2 teeth, so we want to make sure like our oranges are always cut, our apples are always cut for them. Kids also eat with their eyes, so we want to make sure it's always appetizing and appealing and colorful. And then the bistro boxes. So we're introducing a new menu item. It's rolling out this March. It's going to be on the elementary school menu every Friday. It's also going to be on our middle school menus. They're Starbucks inspired. And when we met with our student advisory board, they got to vote on which items they would actually like to see inside of our bistro boxes. So they voted on hummus and a turkey stick as part of the protein for our bistro boxes. For our middle schools, starting in March, they're going to have 5 options available every single day. So they're going to have a main course option, a vegetarian option, a salad, a sandwich or a wrap, and a yogurt parfait. And we're also introducing 2 new salads to our salad bar menu. So we're already serving these salads at our high school. The cauliflower ceviche, which is what you sampled today. It's made with cauliflower, no shellfish, no shrimp. And then we're going to be introducing our caprese salad, and that's cherry tomatoes, fresh basil, mozzarella, and balsamic vinegar. And those will be on our middle school salad bars every Tuesday and Wednesday every week. At our high school, what we're going to be focusing on is separating out our lunch lines by type of meal. So we've gotten word that students feel that our lunch line is disorganized, and we're serving 700 students within a 30-minute period. So we're going to be adding carts throughout the campus, so the students will have different places to go to get different types of food and separate out the lunch lines so it'll go quickly and smoothly. So some of our current accomplishments that we're working on is we're rolling out new menu planning software in April. This will help to streamline our process internally, and it will also update our website and make the nutritional information more accessible to parents. At our last professional development day, we had a guest speaker. Her name was Chef Winnie Chang. She speaks to nutrition services employees at school districts all around the country. Her message to us and our nutrition staff is that we are lunch heroes, and we need to take care of ourselves so then we can in turn take care of our students. We're working on ordering carts for Glendora High School to serve meals across the campus, and we're working on upgrading some of our cooking equipment to focus more on scratch cooking. On February 12th, Athens came out and they trained our food service department and also our custodial staff on separating out the trash, the compost from the regular trash. And then on February 13th, the Nutrition Services Department began composting at our central kitchen, at our high school, and at our middle schools, in the back of the house or in the kitchen. So we've been composting ever since. On March 11th, Athens is going to host an assembly at Cullen Elementary School where they're going to teach the students how to separate their trash. And then on March 12th, the students will begin separating out their trash. And then from there forward, we'll continue rolling it out school by school, first to elementaries, then to middle, and then to the high school. So I wanted to share this picture. We were talking about students eating with their eyes. These are some pictures of our salad bars and you can see how they're colorful, they're bright. We eat a rainbow at our salad bars, all different colors. This slide right here, we're talking about adding additional serving lines. So this is in the senior quad at Glendora High School. That's a salad bar out to see how the students would respond to an additional serving line. It was a big hit. Currently, we're working on ordering a cart. It will be wrapped with the Glendora Tartans logo to go out in the senior quad. Again, to help separate out the lines so there'll be more, help solve the problem of the line being disorganized and taking too much time. And then I'm gonna turn it over to Carmen for a little bit.
I got to be the one to talk about how excited we are about the things that are happening in our kitchen with our new director. She's great. She's got a lot of ideas. And she came in and saw all our scratch cooking, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. We do have 2 kettles, little kettles, and we're working on getting some new equipment in our kitchen so that we can do a lot more scratch cooking for our students. But we wanted to let you know that we do our scratch cooking as far as our spaghetti and our taco meat. It is fresh ground beef from scratch. We open it up from the big rolls that it's in. We put it in our kettles. All of our ingredients goes in there. We're mixing, we're spinning, and then it excites us because then I can go in the when I'm serving the kids lunch and I'll say, look, we made you tacos today and I made them myself just for you, and they get so excited. They love the tacos, they love the spaghetti. We're hoping to get some more scratch cooking in there. As soon as we get our new equipment, I'm sure that that's what's gonna happen. Right, Erin?
That's right.
So we just wanted you to know that we are trying to expand so that we could serve some more scratch items, and hopefully the kids will give us some ideas like the bistro boxes, and they were pretty excited about that too. So I want to thank Erin for everything she's done in the last couple of months, and we're excited about our new equipment and cooking more scratch food. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for letting us share a little bit about our nutrition program. We're really proud to be a part of it. And this is a picture of the students at the advisory board taste testing our bistro boxes. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Don't sit down yet. Don't sit down yet. Don't go anywhere yet.
I thought we were off the hot seat. Yeah.
First off, I just want to congratulate you. It's heartwarming to see a 25-year employee come up here and see how excited she is about letting us know about her new ventures. And that's for someone who's worked for a lot of years too, that's very exciting to hear. Also, the brevity of your report was very nice also, so it gives us time for questions. Are there any questions from the board to Ms. Mesa? Yes, go ahead, Director Reuter.
Thank you. First, I do want to say thank you to both of you for coming tonight and for your whole team. I had the distinguished honor of being a substitute in the high school kitchen for a few days during COVID, when we had so many staff members out that we couldn't get substitutes. So a few of us board members volunteered to go down there. That is a very busy, you really have to have all your ducks in a row. And I'm sure that that's how it is in all of the kitchens all the time. So my hat's off to your entire team for the hard work that you do for our kids every day. I'm really glad that you brought up the scratch cooking. I received an email not too long ago, maybe in the last month, from a seller's dad who is very encouraged about some of the changes that he is seeing. He said he understands that the Subway Day is super popular with the kids and the Domino's Day is super popular with the kids, but would like to see some balance as far as those fun fast food days, if you will, being balanced out by homemade and healthy options. And I really appreciate all the pictures that you sent of the salad bars. But could you tell us a little bit more about what you might need or what plans you might have as far as it is your pie in the sky vision as far as incorporating more scratch or more homemade cooking this way?
Sure. So, like Carmen said, we're actually leaps and bounds above many school districts because we do purchase our ground beef from from raw in the raw form. Many school districts don't do that. They purchase pre-cooked proteins. But because we're already down that path, as we're looking into new equipment, one of the things we're looking into is a rotisserie style chicken. So we'll be able to cook chicken from a raw state, just complete raw chicken, and then we'll be able to use that for salads, and then also just give the students different drumsticks and stuff like that. So that's another thing that we're looking at. Our kettles, as Carmen mentioned, they're 50 years old right now, and they're kind of on their last leg. So we're looking into purchasing larger kettles so we can make more things than just those 2 items that we're making. Another thing we were looking at is potentially making a stir fry at the high school and maybe just having a stir fry line and making that from scratch. We're looking at a different piece of cooking equipment, potentially a robot to help us with that. Yeah. We're going to go look at it on Monday. So that's the direction that we're planning on moving.
It's super helpful to know that it's not common practice for school districts to make their own proteins from scratch. I had no idea. I would have assumed that everybody was making spaghetti sauce this way. So thank you.
Extremely rare.
Okay,
so
that's awesome.
And I have to say that had nothing to do with me. When I came to Glendora, I saw they were already doing that, and I was so excited because I was like, "We're already going down this path. Let's keep going full steam ahead." So
Wonderful.
Yes, we will.
We do try to make, we did have another item that we did, it was sloppy joes.
Okay.
And the kids didn't like the sloppy joes.
Oh, you had to be
End up in
born
the trash.
in the 1900s.
And you know, we're,
The people born in the 1900s like sloppy joes.
Call the dads.
Yeah.
yeah, they did not like them sloppy joes. But we do try to give them a lot of good things to eat.
Yeah.
But we also have so much to serve them in such a little bit of time.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just for us to do tacos and spaghetti, or mashed potatoes and chicken, or teriyaki and rice, you got to scoop all that. And you've got 300 kids in line, and they only have 20 minutes or 15 minutes. It's a lot. So we've got to practice on all of that and try to get some more time for them to have lunch if we're going to be able to serve
Okay.
that.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. It really is great.
exciting.
It seems like you're very excited about it, and we're excited too. Any way that we can help support you as far as equipment and everything you need to just let us know.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Any
thank you.
other board questions?
I have some questions.
Trustee Garcia.
First, I have questions. Thank you so much for your presentation. This particular topic really excites me because it's something that, as a mom of 3, it's important to me, as I'm sure for many other parents, that our kids have, healthy options when they go to school. School lunches have always historically just have not been the best option for our kids. So I am so excited that Glendora is paving that way to more healthy lunches, and thank you for leading that way. Your ceviche was delicious. I think Gary said all we needed was some chips, and it would have been. It was actually really good, and we have some extras that I can't forget to go pick it up because I want to bring it home. I have a question about your bistro box on Friday that you mentioned for the elementary and the middle schools. So is that going to be just another option on top of the pizza, or are we not doing pizza anymore?
They'll have the bistro box and a
the
salad. There's also a salad and the pizza.
With the pizza.
And a muffin and yogurt. So they have 4 choices. It's
So
not
my son
just
doesn't come and
pizza.
tell me there's salad.
Yeah.
He just says pizza.
There's salad. There is a salad bar available every single day. So with the pizza and the Subway, we're working on boosting up our staffing as well, which is another reason that those are currently on the menu. So as we hire more people and stuff.
But
those-
they do
those
have a
days
lot
help
of
along with
choices.
that.
That's why I talked to Erin about it, because parents don't really know what we're doing here as far as what the kids are getting. They get a full salad bar like you
Every
saw
single day.
today.
You need to show
every
off.
day.
You need to show it off.
We're
you
gonna
need to
do
create
it. We're
a little
gonna do
video.
it on back to school night.
A little
We're gonna
video
try
for
to show the salad
Instagram.
bar.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean with that, and then they get the muffin and yogurt is everyday muffin yogurt and string cheese, and then they get a salad on Friday, which is either a Chinese chicken salad or a chef salad, and now we're gonna offer the bistro box. So they're gonna have more than just pizza. They have other choices that they
Good.
can
I'm
choose
happy to hear that. I'll have different questions for my son.
Okay.
As far as the carts at the high school, I am so grateful for that. I heard from a few parents, a couple that actually work at a different school district, who mentioned, and they worked in the nutrition services, that mentioned these carts. And I'm so glad that we're finally implementing them, because part of the problem was that same complaint that the lines were taking too long, kids didn't have enough time to eat, blah, blah, blah. So I'm excited that you guys have that. But what is the plan as far as, right now you said there's one for the senior quad. Are we trying to get one in each quad? Trying to
Yes.
And is it different food on the
Yes.
card than it is at the cafeteria?
They're gonna be stations.
Yes,
Of
so, correct. So, and when they come to the cafeteria, they'll be offered the main entree. So the idea is, again, to shorten the lunch line, so there'll be a fresh and easy cart, so it'll be salads, yogurt parfaits, and wraps. So any student that wants to go there, they'll just receive that meal there. We're gonna have a barbecue cart, hopefully bring back the barbecue there. Any student that wants any of those items, they'll go to that cart, and then we'll have maybe like a pizza cart, and then any student that wants those items will go there. So the students will spread out depending on what type of food items they'd like, then they can just go to those carts. So every line will hopefully be short and move quickly, and we'll be able to serve the students quickly and
That's
efficiently.
exciting. It's like a college food court. I like
Yes,
that.
that's the idea. Yes.
And then the salad bar, is it self-serve, or are you guys serving for the middle school and the high school?
There's all the salad bars are self-serve,
Self-serve, okay. I like
even at
that.
the elementary schools.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing to feed our kids. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aiden, do you have any questions?
I do not have any questions, but I would like to say that being a walk around the halls, I hear a lot of like conversations, and especially the senior quad food. They really like the breakfast burritos. They enjoyed those a lot. They were very good. That's what I heard at least. But
That's actually another item we
I
make from
haven't
scratch.
got to have them yet. But I've heard from a lot of friends that they're very good. I will get it next time. Next time the card's back, I promise. I'll give it a try.
Those
Okay.
breakfast burritos are actually made from scratch too. Just
So is breakfast the same? I mean, not the same food, but in the quads? Or is that, the carts?
Have stations.
the breakfast would be, we serve less options during breakfast because it's a shorter serving period. So the breakfast items would be the same at the carts.
Okay. But are they at the carts? Are the
Yes.
carts are
Yes.
available? Okay. And the breakfast burritos are served at breakfast?
Yes.
Okay. Just,
Yes.
hey, you know what, I like those for dinner, they're good. Mashed potatoes, do you make those from scratch, or they?
We put them in our big kettle. They're
It's-
powdered mashed potatoes, but they taste delicious.
There are some that
They're
I
nice and
like.
thick.
And are you able to utilize anything from the Spartan Garden, that Sandberg?
Yes, that was actually one of my goals, that we were gonna start using things from the Spartan Garden.
They were, but
To
they
put on-
did for a while at the
Yeah,
high school.
and we wanna get back to doing that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Looks amazing, and it's way better than I remember school lunches, so it's great.
No, I don't have any questions. I love the vision. I like where you're going, and it services our kids, so keep up the good work and keep going.
Thank you.
Ms. Mesa, thank you for your presentation. You also, in parting, should announce that employees of the school district, teachers and the like that are on campus have the ability to purchase these great meals. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes,
So-
we would love them to come. They're our best marketing tool. If students see their teachers and principals eating our lunch, they're gonna wanna come eat our lunch too. So please come visit us and purchase.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next presentation is from Miss Wendy Fernado at Cullen Elementary, who has had their back-to-school night. Was that what it was? Open house.
Open house.
Open house that we went to and walked each classroom, and there were nothing but smiles and fun times. So, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Wonderful. Good evening, Dr. DeGrazia, President Clifford, Board of Trustees, Cabinet members, and guests. Thank you for the opportunity to come here tonight to share with you just a few of the amazing things about Cullen. I have brought with me Mrs. Duke Machen, our Student Support Specialist, Ms. Bayless, our reading intervention teacher, and Miss Laux, our math intervention teacher, and Miss Aarons is here too, our TK teacher. The Cullen Condors continue to be absolutely amazing in all they do. This includes the students, the teachers, the fabulous office staff, the incredible aides, one-to-ones, paraprofessionals, the custodian, our amazing food service staff, the noon aides, and our wonderful families. We've continued to strive every day to live by our Cullen Condor Code of Conduct, and I believe that you will see that tonight. Our student populations are holding pretty steady with slight increases and decreases in all subgroups. The most notable change is the decline in our total population from 577 students last year to this year's enrollment of 538. Our average class size for kindergarten through third grade is 22.5. For fourth through fifth grade, it is 29.8. Cullen has 24 brick and mortar rooms and 6 portable classrooms. Cullen is unique in that we service the TK through fifth grade mod to severe population of Glendora Unified. We're also projected to add a third class next year. In the 2022-23 school year, 276 third through fifth graders took the CAPS test for ELA, and 64% were meeting or exceeding standards. It's a slight decline from previous years. However, even at that, we are still 30% above the state standard. None of our subgroups have fallen into the red range, which is great. We have 2 subgroups in green. Although our special education subgroup is in the orange range, it is important to note that our mod severe students take the CAW assessment, which gives them an opportunity to show what they know in alternative ways. While the majority of our students are meeting the standard, we'll continue to work on closing the gaps between all of our subgroups. In the area of math, 58% of our third through fifth graders met or exceeded the standard, and we're excited to see the growth our students have mathematically with the addition of our math intervention program. Again, we have no students in the red band, and 2 are in the green, and I'll expand a little bit further on our math intervention later on. Our English learner progress continues to grow over time. Last year we had less than 30 students, that's why it's not colored. We only had 23, and in the third through fifth grade test, and so they don't show up on the colors. Excuse me. This year we currently have 38 EL students, and 9 of those students are at level 1, beginning to develop. 9 are at level 2, somewhat developed. 11 at level 3, moderately developed, and 6 are at level 4, well developed. And this year so far we've been able to reclassify 4 students, and that tells us that over time our EL students are making good progress towards proficiency. At the elementary level, we do not have many instances where suspension is required. I would love to say that there's never a situation that has cause for it. However, there are instances, typically involving student safety, that we have suspended students. All our students are learning to be responsible with words and actions. They're learning to be respectful of people and property, and to encourage those around them and to stand up for what is right. At Cullen, we're focusing on building character in our students, so when discipline is needed, we take the approach of reflecting on what they've done wrong and what they can do differently the next time. Overall, the previous slides present a positive picture of our students' academics and their behaviors. Attendance has never really been an area of concern for Cullen before the pandemic. However, it is now something that we need to take a look at. Daily school attendance is a big part of students' academic success, and we are continuing to work with families to make sure that we are providing any support necessary. Last year, we had 18% chronically absent, and this year we're down to 11%. For reference, we are at 5% before the pandemic, so it's still a big difference. While this is still high, we are happy to see an improvement in our students' daily attendance. Here are a few of the reflection and areas of continued focus. Our PTA, they're amazing. They have logged a total of 3,672 hours volunteering on campus so far this year, and their efforts have allowed the staff, students, and their families to enjoy numerous activities together. Our student achievements, students at Cullen are outstanding, and we love to give them recognition in a number of different ways. We recognize our students through a Character Strong program with the monthly character traits. Mrs. Mowdy, our librarian, has started to recognize students for reading 1 million words. So far this year, we've had 24 students read over 1 million words. The top one has read over 8 million words. Students also receive recognition with academic improvement and achievement at the end of each trimester. The staff at Cullen continues to be student-centered and works every day to help students reach their full potential. There are a number of teachers who are currently working to further their own education so they are better able to meet the students' needs. In addition, there are staff members who attend trainings to help prepare them to handle the multitude of issues that our students are facing, whether they're social, emotional, academic, or behavior issues. This staff will do what it takes to ensure that their students are equipped to succeed. Oh, too soon, sorry. As you saw previously, our attendance is up this year and we continue to look for ways to continue on that trajectory. Currently, we do give out a perfect attendance award. However, we're looking at other ways that we can continue to support students who are improving their attendance. Consistent school attendance is not only an important part of student success, but it is also a big part of developing responsibility in students. One of the many aspects of being a Cullen Condor is to help those around us. There have been a multitude of opportunities this year where students have been able to give back to the community. In October, we collected cereal boxes for the Glendora Community Coordinating Council to give out in their holiday baskets. In December, students and families collected unwrapped toys for the Warriors for Children Foundation. And in February, they raised more than $6,000 at our Ropes for Hope, which is $2,000 more than they had set their goal for. We're fortunate to have some after-school programs on our campus this year. We have the MEG language classes where students are learning Mandarin and Spanish, 1st through 5th grade students. The Day and Night Chess Club meets on Tuesdays, and in this third trimester, we're going to have a district-wide chess tournament. Additionally, 2 days a week, Kicks to Learn comes and provides activities for the students in daycare. While all these programs have helped provide support for our students, we will continue to focus on our student improvement and engagement. There are a few specific programs that I would like to acknowledge. This year, Cullen was able to start a student council. Mr. Sabota has taken on this responsibility with the help of Mrs. Duke-Majan, Ms. Miller, and Ms. Lynn. They have been a huge help to the PTA at our family events. They were our school greeters on the first day of school, welcoming and cheering on our students. They also sold Valentine grams to raise money to be donated to charity. In addition to what the Student Council has done, they also participate in monthly meetings during which they are learning leadership skills. This program is specifically for 4th and 5th graders, and they must complete an application in order to be considered for the program. We also have student performances, which are lots of fun. The 4th graders put on a full musical production of Gold Dust or Bust at the beginning of the year. Dr. DeGrazia was there. It was very amazing, quite impressive. 3rd grade put on a patriotic performance in November, and it was very moving to hear all of their voices singing together. Our kindergarten class performed a holiday show the following month, and the level of cuteness was remarkable. 1st grade will be performing next month, followed by 2nd graders in April. The 4th and 5th graders will all be performing over the next few months, whether through the Rotary Choral Festival, the District Band Concert, or the Ross Orchestra Concert. This year, our staff has been working to implement the new Amplify science curriculum. They have also received training on depth and complexity, which is a program that makes differentiation a bit easier to provide. In addition to these programs, teachers are continuing to work on implementing Character Strong and all other curriculum-based programs. One of the most effective ways for teachers to be able to utilize these new programs has been through grade-level collaboration. During these times, they're able to plan and discuss how they might find each program useful at their specific grade levels. Character Strong is a program that focuses on the development of character, obviously. Amplify is the newly adopted science curriculum, and it includes hands-on activities, print materials, and powerful digital tools. STAR is our universal reading and math assessment tool, and ESGI is the assessment tool used at the kindergarten level. Intervention is one of our biggest programs on our campus, and we have 3 separate programs that I would consider intervention. Mrs. Bayless is our reading intervention teacher. She is new to Cullen this year, and we've enjoyed having her very much. She's been working with a number of students to help provide more support in building basic reading skills. This year, the district adopted the SPIRE reading program, and this is proving to be a very useful tool in building students' basic reading skills. Currently, Ms. Bayless sees 41 students. Taking on the daunting task of starting a math intervention program is Mrs. Laux. She has taken on this task with determination and creativity. Mrs. Laux has been working with our students to build math fluency and number sense while also helping to build a love for learning. She provides support for kinder through 5th grade students, seeing 7 groups throughout the day. Then there is, of course, the student support specialist, Mrs. Duke-Majan. She continues to be an invaluable asset to the students and staff at Cullen. She sees a total of 59 students, 22 individually and 37 in groups. In addition, she has a handful of students that she regularly checks in on, and the numerous off-schedule situations that she responds to whenever there's a situation that requires her assistance. She consistently works with students dealing with emotional distress and helps them with problem-solving social situations. While this is a lot, she continuously shows up for our students and does it all without complaining. Here are some pictures of a few of the amazing events I've previously mentioned. PTA continuously puts students first and has found new ways to bring students and their families together through numerous school events. Not only have they planned and organized a book fair and multiple assemblies, they hosted a movie night and trunk or treat in October, a very Cullen holiday in December, and a family bingo night in January. They'll be putting on a daddy-daughter dance and a science fair in March. We can also see some of our TK and kinder students on Halloween and the 100th day of school. And the last few photos are from this year's Ropes for Hope. This year there have been a lot of things that we have truly enjoyed and that we are very proud of. The one that stands out to me the most is Character Strong, the monthly recognitions. With Character Strong curriculum, we focus on different traits each month. The teachers and staff are asked to nominate students who might exhibit that trait, and at the end of the month, I go into the classrooms and acknowledge those students individually. The nominated student receives a certificate, a note from the nominating staff member, and an in-and-out certificate. This has been a fun way to recognize positive character in a more personal setting. The students have enjoyed getting awards, and the teacher and I are so proud of the hard work that these students have put into being their very best. I think if I push it again, there's a video. Yes. Oh. Sorry, you don't have access. It won't go. Sorry. I don't think so. I don't know. It's a dance party that Mr. Sabota does when we have our grit slip parties. Yes. Thank you so much for your time. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Wendy, and we'll bring it back to the board for any directed questions to Wendy while she's up here.
I just want to say thank you very much for your thorough presentation. You watched the last board meeting and anticipated the questions that board members would have, so thank you very much for the thorough answers on all those questions. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Paul?
Very well done. And, you know, the funny thing is, things come up and, you know, test scores are not always the best right now. And everybody, we still have to realize that we're not very far out of COVID. So the kids are still, they're learning. They almost had to start over. So very well done. Cullen's doing well, so stay the course.
Thank you again for your presentation, and I love seeing that you have your staff here to support you. That's always nice to see everyone else as well. You mentioned Mrs. Laux doing the math intervention, and you mentioned 7 groups, but how many students does that equal?
Well, it's, we had 34 the first trimester and 37 the second trimester.
37, okay, thank you.
And we also
yes,
have a math homework club, and that's an additional 7 students that come to that.
Is that after school?
Well, it's at the end of the day, it's at 2 o'clock. So their last half hour, any kids that need help with their math homework, for 4th and 5th grade, they come over.
And so the math intervention and the reading intervention, this is a pull-out situation where you pull the kids out during their day?
Yes.
And I'm assuming you collaborate with their teachers and all that stuff, but what does that look like? Is it a 30-minute pull-out, a 10-minute?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. I miss Colin.
Oh, we miss you too.
While you're up here real quick, I just want to reiterate, like, I think when I was there, it's each session has 6 to 8 students in it, correct? For that 30-minute program, and you're working with them on their math, and then you retest them at a certain time to see the difference between the intervention and what happens, and you do that 7 times a day, right? 6 times a day?
I have 7 groups,
Yeah,
yes,
7.
1 for each
That's right.
grade and 2 second grade groups. So we base it on the beginning of the year, their STAR math tests, and then I did additional assessments to see the students that would qualify for those interventions, and then we reassess after each trimester to just see where they are, where they're going, and if they still qualify, if they are graduated out, or if there's other students
that need extra help as well.
Perfect, thank you.
That's a question I had. How do you guys go about determining, is that a teacher recommendation of students that maybe were not in intervention but now need the intervention? How do they get to intervention?
It's a group effort, teacher, myself, and like kinder, they just gathered some kids for me, and these little guys need some extra help in counting and things like that. But the STAR math helps us, and then also I have some assessments, number sets assessments, as well as math facts assessments that just, I kind of put all those assessments together and figure out who needs the help.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And kind of along with that, how many have actually graduated to moved on out of intervention?
Well, we're just starting this year, so, and when you have them for like the beginning of the first trimester, I had them for about 7 or 8 weeks, so it's not a lot of time.
Right.
We did have a couple that graduated, so, yeah, we had 8 students the first trimester. A couple students transitioned to RSP, so it's kind of also a road towards that as well, to see those kids. And in reading, we had 6 students that graduated, and then an additional 2 students placed in RSP.
Okay, that's great. And also wanted to thank you for I am part of the Glendora Community Coordinating Council holiday baskets. I'm the one that gathers the money and gets the gift card. Anyway, but thank you so much for the cereal. That was very much appreciated, and it was amazing. And you're doing a great job. Thank you so much for this presentation.
Any further questions? All right, thank you. Very much. Our final report tonight under 5.3 is Stanton Elementary, presented by Mrs. Julie Galindo.
Good evening. Prepare to be bedazzled. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Superintendent Dr. DeGrazia, President Clifford, Board of Trustees, and Cabinet members. I am excited to be here tonight to share a few snapshots and anecdotes about our wonderful school, Stanton Elementary. I want to first thank many of our staff members for coming out here tonight. I have a whole section. With me today are some of our members of our Eagle Time Committee, Sarah Peckham, Beth Gorski, Kristen Heathcote, Serena Armijo, Christy Prouty, Tiffany Ramirez, and we also have our math intervention teacher, and we have a TK teacher, a 4th grade teacher, a kinder teacher. I've got the whole gamut represented. Thank you, everyone, for being here. A large part, oops, I have to do my slides. Here we go. A large part of Stanton's success is due to our hardworking PTA, our parents, and our community partnerships, such as Foothill Church. These are some of the photos of our PTA-supported events, such as our fundraiser, the Bubble Run, the Slime the Principal, Pie the Principal, Kona Ice Truck for our AR readers, Affordable Christmas Shop, and Breakfast with Santa, and our Stanton Summer Blast Off. All of these events and activities tie back to our school's vision and to our steadfast commitment to our students' overall current and future success. This slide right here, our Stanton student population, shows a snapshot by subgroup. Last year's enrollment was 545, and our current enrollment is about the same at 541, give or take a few students who leave and come. Actually, we have new enrollments happening all the time. What helped our enrollment numbers remain consistent was the addition of our 2nd transitional kindergarten class. Our average class size for a K-3 is 23, and our average class size for grades 4 to 5 is 29.8. Furthermore, we have 19 brick and mortar classrooms and 12 portable classrooms. And it's important to note that school-wide, we are Title I with over 65% socioeconomic disadvantaged students, as well as we have the largest population of EL elementary students, and we're at 11% for EL. This is our slide, shows our CASP ELA academic performance. you can see that we are 49.23% proficient or above in the language arts, which is a 3% increase from last year. This puts us in the green category in the dashboard. We do have a few subgroups in the yellow band. However, they've all shown growth towards points above standards. We also have identified that our students with disabilities show an equity gap as compared to all students as they are in the red, showing they've declined from the previous year. This data shows that last year's of grades 3 to 5. For our current school year, we also have our STAR reading data that is predictive of our state assessments. And this shows that currently in grades K to 5, we have about 50% of our students at or above grade level. And using this data, we come together as a school to implement instructional strategies to help close our equity gaps. We're going to talk about more of these strategies a little bit later in the presentation. For our academic performance for CAS grades 3 through 5 math, we are at 44.32% of our students who are at or above grade level. This is an increase of 10% from the previous year. This increase may be due to some of intentional teaching to recover from COVID learning loss, as well as our after-school intervention skills groups. And it's also important to note that for math, none of our subgroups are in the red category, and our white subgroup is in the blue. All subgroups that are in the yellow also increase, but they're still below standard. So these subgroups will continue to be our focus. As you know, math and science often go hand in hand. So we had a 42% of our students proficient in science, which is an increase of 11% in the CAS from the previous year. Currently, our average STAR math score shows 56% of students in grades 2 to 5 are at or above grade level. And our students with disabilities showed a decline because we added a 3 to 5 SDC class of 14 students. So that's probably why we had the dip with our students with disabilities. For our English learner progress, we have 52 English learners. The majority of our students are at a level 3. We have no students at a level 4, which means we are able to reclassify the appropriate students. So to explain, in order for a student to reclassify, they must achieve a level 4 on the LPAC as well as meet criterion based on grades and assessments. This shows that the students we are reclassifying are performing at or above grade level in the classroom. And so far this year, we have reclassified 7 EL students. Something that we have been really intentional about to put into place for our EL students is in moving levels for the summative LPAC is the EL after school skills, which is going on right now. We have that going on every Tuesday, and that's leading up to the LPAC assessment. And right now we have 51% of our ELs making progress. So this is our chronic absenteeism. This is an area that we are well aware of that we really need to be intentional about. Research and trends show that students in which we serve have had the most difficulties post-pandemic, accessing school regularly, attending school regularly. Weather also impacts that. I think that you guys have been seeing on my weekly board reports, I'm actually reporting on some of our attendance rates. On the one particular Monday that we had torrential rainpour, we had 120 students absent out due to rain. The possibility could be most of our students walk to school. We also have parents who walk their little ones to school using strollers and everything. It's really difficult to do when it's pouring rain out. But I've actually seen dads with, umbrellas out there and they're covering the baby as they're like not even they're getting soaked themselves, making the effort to get to school. We have made gains in decreasing our chronic absenteeism rate, and we continue to analyze barriers and contributing factors that families are facing. I really need one cluster bus stop. That's what I'm hoping for. We can talk about that later. This is an uphill battle, so our approach needs to be connected, strategic, and systematic, and the most important thing we know is ensuring that kids feel safe and welcome and that they are missed when they're not there. And it really is building relationships, which begins at the gate. It begins of our crossing guards welcoming kids, coming in through the gate, ensuring that we are just greeting everybody with a smile and that they are welcomed and that they're missed, and providing opportunities for makeup so they don't get further and further behind. So part of what we have done is really focus on character strong curriculum and tier 1 and tier 2 instructional strategies, which include differentiation. Our suspension rate, we had 4 students that impacted our suspension rate. We have no subgroups in the red. As previously mentioned, we do utilize character strong curriculum as well as other means of correction to support students so that they can stay engaged in the classroom. Some of the ways that we intervene with behavior include education, restorative groups with our student support specialists, principal counseling, and opportunities for alternative recess activities. We get creative. Sometimes they don't even know it's a consequence. They like it so much. Okay, reflections and focus. So you've heard a little bit about our data story. I want to share about some of the great things that we have in place for student success. Up on the board, you can see these are all a result of data analysis, reflection, collaboration with our entire school community. This year, we implemented a whole school response to intervention, which we call Eagle Time. It's probably been our biggest thing that we've focused on this year. I'm going to review that a little bit more in depth in a moment, and you'll have the opportunity to speak with and ask questions of our Eagle Time committee. I can bring them all up here for you guys to grill them. Additional student support includes reading and math intervention, which is during the school day, and after-school skills intervention. Currently, our reading intervention program services 86 students throughout the day. Mrs. Peckham's classroom has just shy of 200 students who visit her classroom on a daily basis, and that also includes our Eagle Time groups as well as her reading intervention groups. And our math intervention services 58 students throughout the day. This, both of these math and reading intervention is outside of Eagle Time. Our after-school intervention includes a focus on EL supports, which I previously mentioned, as well as a math skills groups where we review and practice specific standards for students. This is very intentional, students who are just below standard. So it's really trying to get them to reach standard. As we've seen in the past, not meeting standard could really come down to 1 or 2 questions on the CASP. And we actually have had that, so that's what we're really being intentional about for those kids. We've also implemented, we have a very rigorous IST process to evaluate students' strengths and areas in need to match our interventions. And we all know that a positive student engagement is pertinent to understanding attendance. So we've implemented a variety of programs to include academics, creating a well-rounded Stanton Schools community. This also includes our after-school clubs, because we want to ensure access to all of our students. We do use Title I funds for chess, and we rotate students throughout. So we keep a log we work in collaboration with Day and Night Chess Club, and we have a variety of students who, like, these are the first 40 kids. Now it's time for another 40 kids to come through, because we want to give the opportunity to as many of our students as possible. This year, we've also implemented Kicks to Learn, and that's during the school day. They come Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and that has been a really positive, really positive from both students and staff, and they come from 11:30 to 1:30, 2 days a week. And I highlight that a lot in our weekly board reports. Let's move on. Our Stanton program highlights. So each year we have 3 different VAPA family nights. We invite families to join us for community building fun. We also have 3 parent education nights. We focus 1 VAPA, 1 parent education night for each of the trimesters. So some of our VAPA nights have included karaoke. That's always an exciting time. Family paint night, and recently we had a dance Valentine Graham where each family did a section of they created a little dance and then we put it all together. That was exciting. And another area that we're really proud of for a Stanton program highlight is how much we collaborate with our classified instructional aides, our support staff, and our certificated staff. We focused on inclusion of our classified aides in instruction. We've specifically had to be intentional about this for preparation for Eagle Time. And in addition to that, we've adopted a new science curriculum this year, Amplify, and it's been really exciting to see our students interacting with the hands-on science activities. Recently, our 5th grade was setting a whole unit on water, and they actually went to the 3 Water District and was able to see it in person. That was really great. And this is our 2nd year that we have implemented SPIRE intervention curriculum. I think we were the first school to implement it last year, and we're using it with fidelity, and we're seeing great progress for our students. Here is a look of our school photo album. So we know that relationships are key to any successful organization. These photos highlight and showcase our staff and students. They're also an illustration of the different focus areas we talked about this evening and show a glimpse into the dedication, hard work, really communication, collaboration of our entire staff. At this time, I think it's also important for us for me to know our amazing support staff. I want to give a personal shout out to Samantha Ledesma. I'm going to get emotional, goodness. Brittany Bruner and our custodians, Eric Velasco and Corey Romo. And last but not least, our newest addition to our team, Office Manager Amanda Kirkpatrick. So it's just an amazing team. I really work with hands down, some of the best people ever. I'm very lucky. This is Eagle Time, so this is going to be my principal highlight. It's unique to our school, and let me tell you, it's taken a lot of work to put this into place. It's taken a lot of collaboration, many hours, but it is working, and we're really excited about it. Our staff is excited about it, our students are excited about it, and we're seeing progress. So this is just a little bit of background about it. It's a 1st grade through 5th grade WIN. Some schools call it WIN, which stands for What I Need. Other schools have referred to it as Response to Intervention. And Eagle Time would not have been possible without the dedication, resilience, collaboration, a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears, seriously, willingness of our amazing staff to include our custodians, Eric and Corey, who helped us with our campus needs, moving furniture, getting furniture, our instructional aides and teachers, our Eagle Time committee here in the audience, who have dedicated countless hours in order to ensure the success of our whole school approach. Eagle Time takes place in 2 blocks of uninterrupted instruction. It's students in grades 3 to 5 attend an Eagle Time group from 8:45 to 9:15. It's a half an hour time. And students in grades 1 to 2 attend Eagle Time from 9:30 to 10. So this, we do groups based on benchmarks, SIPs, assessments, star reading scores. Each student is placed in a group to target his or her specific reading needs, such as phonics, phonemic awareness, fluency, comprehension, or literacy circles. For phonics and phonemic awareness, we have adopted the SIPs reading program. SIP stands for Systematic Instruction in Phonological Awareness. And then for other needs, we utilize our adopted ELA Wonders curriculum along with other supplemental materials. So I just want to say I'm very proud of our students and our staff for working hard every day. And I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very impressive. Just a quick question, Eagle Time. Do your students ever watch the Big Bear Eagles,
Yes.
Jackie and Shadow? I had to ask that question.
Yes,
Because
we
since
do.
they're Eagles,
I know, don't you love them
every year,
too?
my grandkids, they're like, hey.
Right.
They're focused on Jackie and Shadow, the eggs, the process. So you guys, the Eagle Time includes that?
Yes. Well, no, they don't have time to watch the Eagles during Eagle time. You have to be really intentional. Maybe during SEL time.
Outside of Eagle Time. I mean,
Yes,
that's phenomenal.
outside of Eagle time. Because if I came around there watching videos of eagles, they might get in trouble with me.
I don't know. I mean, that Eagle Time sounded like doctorate level stuff. I'm just talking about looking
They're
at the
so
Eagles
great.
and Big Bear.
I'm
Thank you
big
for that.
fans. Yeah.
That's my only question. I'm sorry. Jackie
That's
and
my
Shadow.
favorite
That's
question.
it. Okay.
Okay, so I need to wrap my head around Eagle Time.
Yeah.
Should
A
I
little
have the
bit better.
committee come forward?
Yeah, I would love
come
that,
forward
please.
every Eagle time. Caw-caw.
Yeah. Do you have like a?
Can you do that, Chloe?
I entertain myself most days. Okay, fire away. And they know they're honest and authentic. So
I'm not worried about that at all.
Okay, okay.
I'm really not. Okay, so every single student participates in Eagle Time.
yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And so you're taking these tests, the standardized tests to figure out which categories each of these different students may need help in. And so we have Mrs. Peckham and Mrs. Lopez here who are your interventionists, but this obviously is much bigger than that. So how do you figure out who's doing what? Like what?
A lot of post-it notes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I'll help you answer that. Okay, so we look at all of our data. We start with our STAR data
Okay.
as one component, where they're performing with the STAR data, the STAR reading.
Yep.
But then we look at fluency and how their fluency, the Wonders fluency.
Okay.
And then we look at SIPs. We have a SIPs placement assessment that we give them, and we see how they're performing in that, if need be.
Every single student.
Every single student.
Okay.
Well, we don't look at SIPs phonics assessment if they're already proficient in reading or above grade level in reading.
Okay.
We wouldn't look at that.
They're at the green band in STAR.
And
Okay.
STAR. And then we place them accordingly. So we write everybody's name on a Post-it and their score, and we make groups all over the room. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
We should have taken pictures.
I know, but no, what I need to understand is like, are they moving in their own grade level? So like all the first, a first grade, nope.
Multi-level.
We have the bands that they move with.
And we have students with, we have SDC students and with gen ed students.
So you've
Everybody's-
triaged them by their greatest
level,
need, their
yes,
greatest
yeah.
opportunity.
Correct.
And then each teacher is assigned that level. And they're all breaking up and they could be going to any grade level
Correct.
within their span.
So like if you were on campus at 8:45,
I'm coming. Yeah.
you were on campus at
I know.
8:45, you would see me saying, walk, walk. Because we have 3, 4, and 5th graders all going to different locations.
Okay. And then were they, sort of to piggyback off of Mrs. Garcia's or somebody's, I think Mrs. Garcia's question as far as like, if they've sort of mastered their greatest opportunity, are they then tested again at the quarter or at different intervals to figure out what they need to accomplish next?
So we just had a day-to-day on last week, February 20.
Okay.
So, and it was tough as a committee. We had to really decide, we know that this is the first year that we're in the process of doing this. And so we came to a compromise as a committee that we're basically keeping our 1st and 2nd grade SIPs groups mostly, except for kids who are outliers, like they've really skyrocketed. And then for our 3, 4, and 5, those are comprehension groups. We do have 3, 4, and 5 SIPs groups as well, but they're not ready to graduate out of those groups yet. Those are our comprehension groups, and those groups we are realigning. So actually this week we have another meeting. We have a meeting where we will come together and we'll also discuss that. And then prior to even beginning, like figuring out where all of our students are
and then finding out from teachers, because it is important to say for teachers and for instructional aides, okay, what do you feel, what do you want to teach during Eagle Time? Do you want to teach, SIPs instruction? What curriculum do you feel most comfortable with? Are you interested in doing a literacy circle? Are you interested in doing a comprehension? And we really tried to align our groups with what the teachers and instructional aides were most interested in doing. It's a lot.
I picture
Yeah.
like you walk into like a, I don't want to say the word I was going to say, but like a person's house that have got like all the string
Yeah.
and the,
Pretty
all
much
this
like
kind
that.
of, yeah, like.
Yeah, this is a spreadsheet right here, and it just shows of all the different groups that we have and who's doing what.
So are the group sizes somewhat equal?
Yeah. You want to talk about group size? Who wants to talk about group sizes?
Who does SIPs? I do. So they vary. Our SIPS groups we try to keep small because it's phonics instruction. It's mostly the younger kiddos, so we really want to be able to work with them in a very small one-on-one group. So our groups, we try to keep them around 6, but some of our SIPS groups go up to about 10, and we try not to exceed that. But as our fluency groups are 6 students, and then the comprehension groups start to get a little larger, and then our literacy circles are the largest group with about 23, 25 students. And the literacy circle is the highest level reading group because that's when you're really interacting with the text. You're proficient in reading and comprehending, and now you're interacting with it.
And you have enough people to accommodate the groups of 6?
All of our teachers,
Yeah.
all hands on deck. Yep, and all the instructional aides.
So wait,
Aside
I just
from-
want, have you trained the aides? Have they been trained with this?
Yes, and the teachers as well.
That's great.
And in our comprehension groups, we even break that out. We have low comprehension because
Keep up, I'm sorry, we can hear you, but if somebody's watching on TV,
In-
they can't
in
without the microphone,
Our
sorry.
comprehension groups are even broken out even further. We have low comprehension groups, there's 2 of them.
Christy, closer to the microphone. I can't hear you at home.
I'm really loud usually. And we have 2 mid-comprehension groups and then 2 and a high comprehension group. And those kids will have changed going into this next Eagle Time. Some of my lows have moved up to mid, and some have even moved up to high. And some of the highs have moved into lit circles with Serena and the 3 lit circle teachers.
This is really super impressive. When I was looking at your data and seeing your yellow tier, and that's the majority of your students, right? Based on your subclasses this way. But you have clearly figured out what you're going to do about this. So I really appreciate the effort that you clearly all have put into figuring out how you're going to serve your entire student population. I really am going to come. I'll send you an email. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
You can just show up.
I won't do that.
Except so some of the things that we've had to figure out through all of this is like, okay, when are we still gonna have our spirit assemblies? And we have spirit assemblies the first Friday of every month, so make sure that you're not coming on the first Friday of every month. Yeah. So, yeah, and then we gotta figure out like, okay, what do we do during a field trip? Because half our grade level is gonna be out. So it's been really amazing, and there's no way that we could do it without Eagle Time Committee. And we have every grade level represented, and we have every walk of life represented on our campus as well. So that it's been great.
Well done.
Thank you.
To stay on that topic, sorry, I have a question. Is this once a week or every day?
Every day.
Every day. And I know this is for reading intervention, right? Have you seen a need for math intervention? Do you think this is something that, God, this is so much to take on, guys. I don't even know how you're doing it, and I'm so impressed. And thank you for going through all that work and training the staff that you need to be able to make this program successful. I appreciate all that work. I can imagine it's not easy. So me saying, how would it work for math seems a little, come on, Monica. But yeah, if it works, if it's something that your school is responding to as you want it to, is that something you would consider? How do you fit it in the day?
I don't know if we would be able to do, I can't even imagine that. It's quite a feat just for us to do. We focused on reading based on our reading scores after COVID, and also because there's so much reading in math. So there's so many word problems, and they have to know how to read well in order to understand a lot of the math that's happening, which was our intentional focus.
So in hope that the reading will help the math just by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
That is
I didn't expect that
impressive.
as a
And
good
I,
answer.
I had another question.
I always said that because my oldest daughter is in special ed and she was really good at reading. Math, concepts just didn't work. And I said, well, can always use a calculator. Not to diminish the importance of math, but if I had to choose, I'd choose reading.
I think I had another question, but I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
find it. But I do have something about your EL after school skills. What does that look like, and is it an optional program, or do they have to?
Before they sit down, I wanted.
Oh, go ahead. We'll come back to
Okay.
that. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, I wanted to just, how did you come up with this program? Is this just something that you, my text says, as y'all just got together and collaborated? I use that word all the time. It works really well. I mean,
Like
did
Eagle,
you?
are you talking Eagle Time?
Yes, did you find another thing that someone else had, and you copied it, or did y'all just come up with this by yourself?
So we are our reading and math, I think our reading intervention, all of the reading intervention teachers in the district went to go visit other schools. I think in Covina, that type of thing. And Dr. Naharo, correct me, that was last year, I believe, that they did, right? The year before? Okay, 2 years ago, and they were looking at the two different programs, which was SIPS and Spire. I happened to be at a tennis tournament, and I was talking to one of my really good friends who works in Upland, and I said, you know, my school's looking into adopting SIPS and Spire, and she said, oh, we do both programs, and she said it's part of our win time. I said, what is that? And so then we took a whole committee of people to go look at the school, and it was like, do you think that we could do this? And it was important to me that their school looked like our school, like the socioeconomics, the Title I, like, is this something that we're capable of doing? You can have all of that. You can have the programs, you can have the kids, you can have the need. If you don't have the staff who's willing to do it, you have nothing. And so it really, it's not me. It's the entire staff, and it's our entire committee who we took polls like, is this something that you're interested in doing? Are you willing to do it? What I've discovered is, y'all know that my background is high school, right? So it was a new learning curve for me to know that there's so much trust that needs to be there for an elementary teacher to allow his or her students to go to another teacher for a whole half an hour. That's a long time, right? And, you know, for there to be trust within the team to know, like, okay, this teacher is going to give my kid everything that my student is going to need for that half an hour time. I knew that we were asking a lot, and so yeah, we're able to do it, and it's working. It's going to be really exciting to see our data through. You know, this is really like our pilot year, so it's going to be really interesting and exciting to see where our data goes from here. I do want to mention earlier, because I think Monica, you asked me about intervention. We do have math intervention through the day and pull-out groups, but not whole school, like a block of time like we do here.
I figured as much. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Back to my question. Are you okay?
EL.
Yeah, with EL, and I'm assuming that's an after-school program.
It
and
is,
is that a recommendation for students, or is that part of what they're expected to do and mandatory? How does that
So
work?
it is after school, and we have 5 weeks of lessons, specifically every Tuesday leading up to the LPAC. We're very intentional also of specifically inviting students that are just on the cusp of being able to reclassify. More than anything, and I believe this with CASP as well, which is why I'm really a proponent of the short interim assessments for CASP, is there's a lot of executive functioning that takes place in these assessments, and it's really introducing what the assessment is for the student. Just so much listening, speaking, knowing how to navigate the test, the writing portion of it. And so more than anything, it is being intentional about the specific skills that are going to be assessed on it, but it's also introducing them to the assessment itself. Yeah.
Thank you all for everything you're doing. This really is exciting. I appreciate your work.
Any further questions for Mrs. Galindo?
No, I don't have any questions. This is unbelievable. Really, really good. The fact that the whole staff bought in and you have kids going everywhere and going to different groups is amazing. That's not easy to do. And sometimes it gets hard and it's hard to keep that momentum. You just got to keep that momentum going because it's going to benefit the kids. And in a pilot year, you're going to reap the benefits. It may be a little while before that happens, but the fact that you even put it together and all you guys bought and everybody owned it, right? Everybody talks about buying. You talk about we've owned this system. We're doing it. So congratulations. You've done a great job. And go Eagles.
Go Eagles!
Thank you very much, team. Awesome.
Thank you.
That wraps up our 3 staff presentations for this evening. They just get better and better every week. That was amazing. Our next item is a discussion action item to review the revision of Board Policy 6146.4, differential graduation and competency standard for students with disabilities, as presented for first reading and forward for second reading.
Good evening. Those are great presentations. Now for the wind down. So I'm here to present an amendment for Board Policy 6146.4, differential graduation and competency standards for students with disabilities. This board policy will allow a pathway for students with significant disabilities to earn a high school diploma.
Could you say that again real loud and clear for everybody, please?
This board policy will allow students with significant disabilities a pathway to earn a high school diploma.
Thank you.
And there is quite a bit of language that has been added, so I'm going to read this language, so bear with me as I read it. The added language goes like this. Exemption from district established graduation requirements. District students shall complete all course requirements for high school graduation as specified in Board Policy 6146.1, high school graduation requirements. However, a student with a disability that entered the 9th grade in the 2022-23 school year and later may be exempted from all coursework and other requirements adopted by the board that are in addition to the statewide course requirements for high school graduation if the student's IEP provides for both of the following requirements. 1, that the student is eligible to take the alternate assessment as described in Ed Code 60640, and 2, that the student complete the state standards aligned coursework to meet the statewide coursework specified in Educational Code 51225.3. Any such exempted student shall receive a diploma and be eligible to participate in any graduation ceremony and school activity related to graduation in which a student of similar age without a disability would be eligible to participate. The district's responsibility to provide FAPE, or free and appropriate public education, shall not terminate when a student with a disability who is exempted from district-adopted graduation requirements participates in graduation activities unless the student's IEP team, which includes the parent, guardian, and student, has determined that the student has completed the high school experience.
Thank you for that. Are there any questions for Dr. Murray while he's up at the dais about this?
I just, in a very ballpark, I'm not asking for anything specific. Can you tell me or tell us approximately how many students would be impacted at Glendora, in Glendora Unified School District by this change of policy?
We would have approximately 5 to 6 students a year, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the year.
Perfect, thank you.
Any further questions?
Do we need to really forward it? Can we just do this?
We don't have to forward it first.
I believe we
Right.
can handle it all tonight.
Yeah.
If the motion after the discussion goes that way, yes.
I make a motion that we bypass the second reading of this board policy and approve it this evening.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there any opposition? So moved. Congratulations, Dr. Murray.
Thank you, Dr.
Good
Murray.
presentation. So that brings us to the consent item calendar. There's items 8.1 through items 11.3 that can all be passed by one vote, if so moved by this board. And may I have a motion for that?
I would actually like to make a motion to pull out item 10.4, but blanket approve the remaining items.
Is there a second for that motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion about that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, so item 10.4 has been pulled. I'm gonna shinny right down to 10.4 here. 10.4 is an item to approve / ratify the award of a request for qualifications and proposals, otherwise known as an RFQ/P, for architectural services to DC Architects, Go Architects, Inc., and Westberg White Architecture. Trustee Reuter, you pulled it, your discussion.
Do I have to make a motion for it first?
Yes.
I believe I do.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
you do.
so you can
All
make a
right,
motion.
I made a motion and Mr. Lopez seconded it.
So we have a motion and a second, and now we'll have discussion.
Well, I would just like Mrs. Walzak to please just give us a brief summary of what the intent of this consent item is.
All right, great. So the intent of this consent, so basically on February 2nd, we went out to an RFQP for interested architects because we have some big projects going on, such as the GHS pool renovation, fencing, and elementary school playgrounds. So we had a group of architects submit, so there were 3 that submitted, so we decided to put them in a pool, so that way we have some flexibility to go with a specific architect based on the project. So that's why we have the 3 architects, so that we can move our projects along quicker.
And is there a term of service as far as this is concerned? Like, are these just in a pool indefinitely, or is there an end of?
Yes, there is. They're in a pool for 2 years, I believe, and then we can extend them an additional, I think 3 years, and then we can extend for an additional 2 years for a total of 5 years.
And if we wanted to add any additional architecture firms, would we have to go out again and add them into the pool?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got some really exciting projects coming up, so it's important for us to have a deep bench. Thank you very much.
Thank
Any
you.
further discussion on this? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Consent calendar passes. That brings us to adjournment, and unless I have
So
any.
moved.
I was just gonna adjourn.
You don't even have to have motions anymore. You just whap it.
I was just gonna say, unless there's something else to be said, Aiden, can we adjourn the meeting? All right, at 11:44, the meeting adjourned. Thank you so much.
It's not 11:44. It's 8:44. Time flies when you're having fun.
That's funny, you're